Now we are going to discuss rest of the theory. We already discussed what is indifference curve, what are the features or properties of indifference curve, and now we have to discuss slope of the indifference curve. The slope of the indifference curve is called marginal rate of substitution. That in short, that is MRS of X and Y. It is the rate at which consumer is willing to substitute X good to Y goods. Now here A to B, you can calculate the MRS, that is the slope of the curve, delta Y divided by delta X, or you can calculate the slope mu X divided by mu Y. The negative slope of the indifference curve shows that two goods can be substituted only when consumption of one good drops and other one increases. Right? When you come to point A to B, you have to consume more from X, but you have to sacrifice or refuse, or you have to drop some amount from Y. Okay? Then you can reach to point B. That is the slope of the indifference curve. You can measure the slope, that is delta Y divided by delta X, or mu X divided by mu Y. Right. The marginal rate of substitution. Marginal rate of substitution may be defined as the amount of a commodity that the consumer is willing to trade off for another commodity, as long as the second commodity provides same level of utility as the first one. These are the formula MRX expo Y, the change in that is delta X divided by delta Y, change in X, change in Y. Then MUX divided by MUY, right? I will explain through the board. Yes.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
In the curve, the slope is being measured delta y over x equal delta mu x over mu y. That is, first we measure delta y and then divided by delta x. So that's a contradiction, no, sir? Is it
Yes, I
correct?
will explain you. Explain right.
Okay.
Right. Now we discussed ordinal theory. According to the ordinal theory, you can't measure the utility. You can rank. You can order. And there are some assumptions. According to the assumptions, you can derive the demand, that is indifference curve. It is left, right, downwards, and continues the origin, not touch each other like that. We discuss the features. Then now we are going to discuss slope of the indifference curve. Slope of the indifference curve. Right. Slope of the indifference curve. That is called MRS. MRS means marginal rate of substitution. In short, that is MRS, marginal rate of substitution. Right. Now there is a here quantity Y, quantity X. It is left, right, downwards, and convex domain. This is indifferent curve 1, right? Now, you can consider that difference as 0 to 1. Same difference you can get like that. Right. Right. Now, we'll put that here point A, point B, point C, point D, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Now, according to the vertical axis, now we will put that 12, 13, 14, right? 14 here, 14, 14, 14. Clear, no? Right. Here quantity y is 14, right? Here 7, we put that 8, 7, 6, 5, right? Somewhat difficult, right? 5, that is 4.5, 4.5, right? Now you can calculate the slope of the indifference curve, that is MRS. Now you can calculate the MRS delta y divided by delta x, right here. And normally that the MRS can calculate left to right downwards, not this way, right? Normally that can be calculated left to right downwards, right? Now the MRS, you can calculate the MRS for A to B, A to B, A to B, not B to A, never. It is left to right downwards. That is also some rule, right? Now A to B, you can calculate the MRS. Now MRS means here, now delta y is here, delta y, right? Here delta x, then delta y divided by delta x. This is the formula. So now you can write MRS. Delta y means here 8 to 14. That is 6. Then 6 divided by here 1. Answer is 6. That answer is 6. That meaning that 6 means he is ready to consume 1 unit from X by sacrificing 6 unit of Y. That's the ratio. X එකක් ගන්න y වලින් ආදේශ කරන්න කැමති ප්‍රමාණය. He is prepared to sacrifice 6 unit from Y to consume extra 1 unit of X. That ratio is the marginal rate of substitution. That is called marginal rate of substitution. X වලින් එකක් ගන්න y වලින් 6ක් දෙන්න කැමතියි. අන්නේ අනුපාතය දැක්කන එක තමයි ආන්තික ආදේශ අනුපාතය කියලා කියන්නේ. He is ready to sacrifice 6 unit of y to consume 1 unit of x. That ratio is called marginal rate of substitution. X for y, x සඳහා y, x for y, right? Then you can calculate the MRS for B to C. Now B to C, MRS, we will put that B to C, MRS x for y, then delta y divided by delta x. That means delta y here, B to C, that is 2. 2 divided by 1. Here, 2 divided by, answer is 2. Answer is 2. Here, earlier 6, now it is 2. Now you can calculate the C to D. C to D. Here 1 divided by 1, answer is 1. 1 divided by 1, then answer is 1. Then D to E. D to E. Right? Here 0.5, 4.5, 0.5 divided by 1. 0.5 divided by 1. That is answer is 0.5. This is how you can calculate the MRS. It is left to right downwards. Here is it a pahalata gamanakadi. You can calculate the slope of the indifference curve. That is slope of MRS. Now you can observe the data that answers 6, 2, 1.5 like that. Left to right downward, it is decreasing, diminishing. That ratio is decreasing. Why? Now A to B at the point A, he has only 1 unit of X. But now assume that this is dry fish or fish. Here vegetable. He has 14. We will put that 250 grams of 14 units of vegetable. Then here dry fish or 1 kilos. Right? Now he is now assume that price of the fish or dry fish is reduced, then the vegetable price is very high. Then she is prefer to come to point B. He can yield same satisfaction. So he is ready to take another that 2 units of dry fish. Right, first one already recorded. Now he is ready to purchase 2 units of X by sacrificing 250 grams vegetable units, 6 units. That ratio is 6. He is prepared to sacrifice 6 to take 1 unit of X. ආන්තික ආදේශන අනුපාතය. X සඳහා y කොච්චර ආදේශ කරන්න කැමතිද? How much he is ready to sacrifice to take 1 unit of X. Sacrifice from y. How much? Likewise. That is MRS. Slope of the indifference curve. B to C, that ratio is reducing. C to D, it is when you compare these figures, that answers, that is reducing. Then there is a law, the law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. The law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Now left to right downwards, that MR is diminishing. That is needed. That left to right downwards and a curve connects the origin. That law is there. Why? How? Now he is ready to B to C, C to D like that. At the very beginning, that from A to B, he is ready to sacrifice more vegetable for 1 unit of X. But second B to C, he is not ready to sacrifice more from vegetables. That is the reason. Right? Then B to C to D, he is not ready to sacrifice vegetables, more from vegetables. No, he is now the vegetable is reducing that utility, that reducing commodity is increasing. He is not ready to sacrifice more and more from vegetable to take the dry fish or X. No. That law is there. That is the law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Now උපේක්ෂාවක් දිගේ ඉහළට පහළට ගෙනකොට එකකින් වැඩියෙන් ගන්න අනිකෙන් මුලදී ගොඩක් කැප කරනවා. ඊළඟට කැප කරන්නේ අඩුවෙන්. මොකද අඩු වෙන භාණ්ඩේ උපයෝගිතාවය වැඩි වෙනවා. That is the answer. That's the reason. Normally that curve is the convex origin, left to right downwards. That law is there, right? Now you have to realize what is the law of diminution, what is marginal rate of substitution. You have to define. ආන්තික ආදේශන අනුපාතය කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? You have to define. ඒතර පාරිභෝගිකයට උපේක්ෂා වක්‍රයේ දිගේ එහාට මෙහාට පන්න පුළුවන්. එක ලක්ෂයකින් තව ලක්ෂයකට එක භාණ්ඩයක් වැඩි කර ගන්න අනිත් භාණ්ඩෙන් ආදේශයේ ප්‍රති ප්‍රමාණය තමයි ආන්තික ආදේශන අනුපාතය කියලා කියන්නේ. ඊළඟට හීනවන ආන්තික පුතා නීතිය කියන එක ඔබ දැනගෙන තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? Now here you have to realize what is marginal rate of substitution. Marginal rate of substitution. You have to define. Right? The consumer can go here and there through the indifference curve, especially left to right downwards. Then he can make equal satisfaction. That commodity bundle is different, but he can gain equal satisfaction. He can be point A or point B, whatever. The utility gain from any point is equal. So he can go here and there, right? But he can go here and there. He has to take more from one unit to sacrifice from other, right? Then beginning that A to B, he will ready to sacrifice more from Y to take more from X. That at the beginning, the 1 unit of X, less from X, he is ready to take more from X by sacrificing more from Y. But point B to C, he is not ready to sacrifice more from Y. That's the reason. The Y quantity of Y is reducing, that utility is increasing. He is not ready to sacrifice more from Y, B to C. Right. Likewise, you have to realize and how to calculate and how the behavior is. How to calculate the MRS, then according to the behavior, that ratio is decreasing or diminishing. Then there is a law, the law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. You have to realize that what is MRS, how to calculate MRS, what is the law, right? Now here, you can calculate the MRS by using that marginal utility of X divided by marginal utility of Y, X for Y, right? Later I will, this is very important, I will go to the past paper when utility function given as a equation type, you have to use the marginal utility for X and Y or A and B or whatever that commodity to calculate the MRS. That is the difference, right? Through the graph you can use this formula. Here you can't use MUX, MUY. Assume that utility function is given. Now I will get the utility function that TU, TUX, TU, no, we will put the TU, is we will put that 100 x to the power half, y to the power half, right? Now utility function given as a equation type, how can you calculate the MUX? Here you can calculate MUX by differentiation TUX subject to the X. You have to differentiate the TU function subject to the X. TU සිතේ X විෂය වරක් අවකලනය කරනවා. Then you can derive the MUX. MUX ව්‍යුත්පන්න කරගන්න පුළුවන්. This is the way. Then half into 100, that is 50. 50. Now you have, according to the rule, that differentiation rule, x to the power, you have to deduct 1, then minus half. Minus half. Then y to the power half, that is prevailing, that existing one, you have to write as it is, right? This is MUX, right? Then MUY, you have to differentiate that TU function. Here there is no x, difficult to right. Remember that here there is no u, here no x, right? The TU function, you have to differentiate that this TU function subject to the y, subject to the y. TU function, you have to differentiate subject to the y. Then half into 100, that is 50. Then x to the power half, you have to remove these things. X to the power half, that is existing as it is, you have to write here. Then here you are differentiate that y subject to the y, you have to deduct 1. Then y to the power minus half. Minus half. So now you can calculate the MRS x for y, MUX divided by MUY. Then you can write here, this is MUX, right? 50 x to the power half, y to the power half, divided by 50 x to the power half, y to the power minus half. Here also minus. Then you can simplify this to, because the index rule, Darshaka Nitiya, index rule, you can write this way. Then x to the power minus half come to this side, that is minus plus half. The x to the power plus half, x to the power plus half, that is x. Y to the power minus half come to this side, then plus half, that is y. This is MRS for x for y, right? Then that is utility function given as the equation type, equation mode. This is how you have to calculate the MRS, right? Right. Later we will discuss these things. Now, right. Now already we discussed the slope of the MRS, so the slope of the indifference curve, that is MRS. There is a law already we realized. Now we are going to discuss consumer equilibrium level under indifference curve analysis. Now, according to the utility theory, the consumer is consuming 1, t. On the diminishing marginal utility theory, this is the equilibrium condition. And equimarginal utility, MUX, PX, MUY, PY. And XPX plus YPY equal to I. Likewise, according to the indifference curve also, we can discuss, or we can consider the equilibrium level of consumer equilibrium level under indifference curve analysis. Now, according to the properties that features quantity y, quantity x, the higher level of indifference curve gives the higher level of satisfaction, right? Then if you can reach to the higher level of indifference curve, you can make more satisfaction, more utility, you can gain more utility. Then consumers prefer to go beyond and beyond, right? Now this is indifference curve map. Then you can reach higher level of indifference curve, you can make more utility, more satisfaction. Then consumers prefer to go higher and higher and higher, higher and higher and higher. Go to the higher level of independence. He is very prefer to reach higher level of independence because he can make more satisfaction. But there is a constraint. To go to the higher level of indifference curve, he can buy from both commodity. Right? He has to buy more from both. Then there is a constraint. Sanrodhya. There is a constraint. That is the budget constraint. Budget. So before discuss the consumer equilibrium and the indifference curve analysis, we have to derive the budget line. We have to derive the budget line. Otherwise, we can't discuss equilibrium level of equilibrium level under indifference curve. So then, what is budget line? Right? Assume that consumer has 100 rupees. Right? Price of X is 25. Price of Y is 20 rupees. Right? Now, graphically, right here quantity Y, here quantity X 0. Now assume that the consumer has that income, the consumer has 100 rupees. 100 rupees. He is going to purchase only commodity Y. Commodity Y, right? Now I divided by price of Y. Then income is 100.
Maximum 5.
Yes. Divided by 20, that is 5. He can buy 5 units from Y. Then X is 0, he can buy 5 units of Y. Likewise, then Y is 0, he can buy from X, I divided by PX. Then how much? 100 divided by the price of X is 25, that is 4. Right? Here 5, here 4. Then Y is 0, he can buy 4 units of X. Then X is 0, he can buy 5 units of Y. Assume that he is going to buy from both. Can you find out these points? No, we can't. Right? By join these 2 points by linear curve. Right? By linear curve, you can find out the how much from Y, how much from X, like that. If the consumer is going to consume from both, you can find out these combinations according to this line. This is called budget line. Then what is budget line? What is budget line? Right? Then actually the consumer spend his money rationally to maximize the utility. Definitely he will be on the budget line. Right? He will be on the budget line. He can't go beyond the budget line. That is why it is called price line. Right? Budget line or price line. Right? Price line. Now he spent his whole money for 2 commodity, that XBX plus YPY equal to I. That is the budget line equation. Covered by the budget line, then this area is called budget space. Budget space. SPACE, budget space. Then the budget space equation XPX plus YPY less than or equal I. Sometimes you spend your whole money, that 100 rupees, not rational. You can buy here and there, not considering that price. You went to the market, buy something like that. You can rent. Sometimes you spend his whole money somewhere else. You are somewhere not maximize the utility, right? The rational producer definitely it could be a mat. Definitely is it could be somewhere else that on the budget line, right? Right. Budget line or price line, consumer possibility curve, right? Then here you have what is budget line. The budget line is the linear curve that shows all combination of two goods that the consumer can afford to buy. That is his spending his whole income. You had better go to the yes, that book something. Yes, answer also given, right? Indifference curve. Yes. You see that. Yes. Now the budget constraint, right? Budget line is the linear curve that shows all combination of two goods that the consumer can afford if the whole income is spent on two goods in concern over a certain period, right? Then what is budget line, right? Change in the budget line. A budget line can change due to two reasons. By changing the income for a period in the concern, change in the price level of the commodities. These are the two reasons the budget line can change. Change in the income for the period in concern, change in the price level of commodities. Yes, graph. You can see it. Right. This is the budget line already derived. Budget line can change due to two reasons. One is a change in the income for the period, right? Change in the income, right? Here quantity X, quantity Y. This is the budget line. We will put that AB, right? Assume that consumer income is increasing. The other things are constant. Other things means that X price of the X and Y are constant, stable. Then the consumer income is increasing. Then budget line shift to the right hand side. Yes, it should be parallel to the earlier one, that is A dash, B dash, or something you put. Right. A dash, B dash. That is shift to the right hand side. Then other things are constant. The consumer income is reduced. Then budget line shift to the left hand side. That should be parallel to the original one, right? Earlier. Likewise, you have to realize, right? Then assume that here quantity Y, quantity X 0. This is the budget line. Assume that price of X is reduced. Now 100 rupees, that 25 you can buy, you can buy 4 units. Now assume that price of X is reduced to up to 20 rupees. Now we can buy 5 units of X. Then budget line rotate right hand side. when the price of X is reduced, the budget line shift or rotate to the right hand side, right? Then price of X, here quantity Y, quantity X 0, that is budget line AB. When price of X is increased, then budget line shift to the left hand side, rotate left hand side, that is AB dash. Then quantity Y, quantity X, here 0 is the budget line. We put that AB. Then price of Y is reduced, then budget line rotate. Right. Quantity Y, quantity X 0. Then the price of Y increase, budget line shift to the left hand side. Right, you have to realize. Right, now we can discuss the consumer equilibrium. Now already we derived the budget line. Quantity X, quantity Y 0. Now this is the budget line. Right. Now you can enter the indifference curve map in the same graph. You can do that budget line and the indifference curve. Same graph. Then there is a one point. Mama lecture in the end. Right. I'm not going to. Now I think that now we derive the budget line. You can enter the indifference curve map into the same graph. Likewise, right? But there are some points you can see. Indifference curve 1, indifference curve 2, indifference curve 3, like that. Then here A, B, C, right? The budget line and the indifference curve touch each other. There are 3 points you can find out that A, B, C. Which one is the utility maximization point?
B.
B, yes. Then here assume that budget 100, then 100 you can reach point A, point C. This is related to the indifference curve 1, but point B is related to the indifference curve 2. That is higher level of indifference curve gives the higher level of satisfaction. Definitely the consumer equilibrium at point B, right? Then we will remove these things, right? Point B, right? We'll put right. Yes, point B. Point B. Now, according to the point B, the slope of the indifference curve is equal to slope of the budget line. Then slope of the indifference curve means MRS. Slope of the budget line means price ratio of the two commodity. Now here, you can measure the slope of the budget line. That is delta Y divided by delta X. That is the slope. Now here we will put that OA, OB. Right? Slope of the budget line means OA divided by OB. that is slope, we will put that B, right? OA divided by OB. Then OA means I divided by PY. Then OB means, right, I divided by PX. OB means I divided by PX. So you can write I divided by PY, I divided by PX. I divided by PY into, you have to write this way, the mathematical rule, that is, yes. Then you can remove this I. Then the slope means PX divided by PY. PX divided by PY. That is how calculate the slope of the budget line, right? Then here, at the point B, that slope of the indifference curve is equal to slope of the budget line means slope of the indifference curve means MRS. That is MRS means MUX divided by MUY. Then slope of the budget line means price ratio of the two commodity, two commodity. So you can write that MUX divided by MUY equal to price ratio of the two commodity. Normally that MUX divided by PX, MUY divided by PY, right? Marginal utility by X divided by its own price, not PY. Then the marginal utility of Y divided by its own price, that's the price of Y. Remember that. So cross multiply, you can write MUX divided by MUY, PX divided by PY. Right? Or you can write this way, MUY divided by PY, MUX divided by PX. Then MUY, and then cross multiply that MUX here, PY divided by PX. Can you remember? Right? If you write this way, MUX divided by MUY, PY divided by PX, that is wrong. That is wrong. Because cross multiply, then PY come to this side, then MUX divided by PY. No, it is wrong. Right? Then now here, MUX divided by price of X, MUY divided by price of Y. Then cross multiply, you can get this, right? Then MU divided by PY, MUX divided by PX. This is also correct. This is also correct. This is correct. This is correct. Right? These are correct. Right? But this is wrong. You can write this way. MUX divided by MUY. Then you can write then now assume that here PY wrong. PY divided by PX wrong. Here PX divided by PY. Then cross multiply MUX divided by PX, MUY divided by PY. Right? This is also correct. MUY divided by MUX. Then here PY divided by PX. Then cross multiply MU divided by PY, MUX divided by PX. Right? Remember that when you are then the calculation part, that is very important. What is the correct the equilibrium point, the consumer according to the indifference curve analysis at the say can you please wait, there's can you please explain little bit slowly? All right, okay, right. Now yes, according to the indifference curve analysis, we can discuss the consumer equilibrium point. So now according to the this graph, then we already derived the budget line. Then we enter the indifference curve map. Then there is a point we can identify as a consumer equilibrium point. According to the point B, slope of the both line, that indifference curve, and the slope of the budget line are equal. That the tangent point, that according to the point B, slope of the both curve are equal. That means the slope of the indifference curve means MRS. Slope of the budget line means price ratio of the two commodity. At the equilibrium point, for the indifference curve analysis, the consumer equilibrium point, this is the condition should satisfy. Right? Now MRS means MUX divided by MUY. So you can write same condition like this. Right? Because MRS means MUX or MUY, you can write this way. Right? And you have to remember that MUX divided by MUY, you can't change these two. Right? Because always MUX divided by its own price of the X. MUY divided by its always that its own price of Y. Remember that. Right? You can't change that PY is here, PX is down. No, that is wrong. Right? Now, record this graph. You can write two lines here and vertical axis. Then Y1, X1 is the utility maximization commodity bundle. X1, Y1 is the utility maximization commodity bundle. Right. This is the theory. Actually, the examination purpose. There are some calculations. Right. Now, this is the 2019, that 2020 past paper. Now, how does analysis of demand contribute to the business decision making? Distinguish between cardinal and ordinal concept of utility. Then what is the cardinal? Cardinal means utility can be measured. That is the utility theory. The ordinal, utility cannot be measured. That is you can rank, you can order. That is the indifference curve analysis. Which of the two more useful concept in demand analysis from the manager's point of view? Finally, we will discuss what is most superior, quite likewise. What is the income consumption curve? Not yet discussed. Now here, now there are two commodities, X1 and X2, on which a consumer spends his entire income in a day. He has utility function. Write down somewhere else. Yeah. U equal 1 to the power half, x to the power half. Find out the optimal quantities of x2, prices of x1. Price of x1 is 5 rupees. Price of x2 is 2 rupees factorial, and the income is 500. Right. Now you can download the these papers, that past papers already given. There are two commodities, X1 and X2, on which a consumer spends his entire income in a day. He has that utility function. Is the utility function U equal x to the power half, x1 to the power half, x2 to the power half. Find out the optimal quantities of x1 and x2 if prices of the x1 and x2 are 5. Then price of x is 5 rupees. That is respectively the prevailing price of x1 is 5 rupees, price of x2 is 2 rupees, and his daily income is 500. Then you have to find out the optimal quantities of x and x2, right? 6 marks. Now utility function u equal x1 to the power half, x2 to the power half. Price of x1 is 5 rupees. Price of x2 is 2 rupees. Income of the consumer is 500. These are the given details, right? Now you have to find out the utility maximization cumulatively one for how much from x1, how much from x2, like that, right? Now this is the condition, right? Graphically, this is the budget line, right? This is the equilibrium point, that is indifference curve. Here quantity x1, here quantity x2. Now you have to find out this one, x1, how much from x1, how much from x2. You have to find out these two, right? Now here, that equilibrium point, that slope of the indifference curve, that is MRS, equal to price ratio of the two commodity. This is the condition, that condition should satisfy at the equilibrium point. You should know this point, that MRS equal to price ratio of the two commodity. Then MR means MUX divided by MUY. So you can write MUX MUY, here PX PY. This is the condition. Now you can solve this problem, right? Right. This is the way. Now you need MUX, you need MUY, right? Then you can derive the this total utility function, subject to the x1, subject to the x1. Right. Right. Now here, then you can derive the mu x1, mu x1. Then here, here 1 is here, then half into 1, that is half x1. You have to deduct 1, then minus half. Then x2 to the power half, you have to write as it is, that is mu x1. Now mu x2, then that tu function, that same function, that tu function, differentiate subject to the x2. හරි, එතකොට මේ මුළු ප්‍රයෝගිතාශ්‍රිතයේ x2 විෂය අවකලනය කරනවා. Then you can derive the mux2, right? Then here 1, half into 1, that is half, right? Then x1 to the power that half, that is not change, right? You have to write x1 power half, right? Here you have to deduct 1, that is minus half, x to the power minus half. Right. Right. Now MUX divided by MUX1 divided by MUX2. Right. Now half minus half x2 that power half x to the power half x2 to the power minus half. Then mu x1 divided by mu x2. You can simplify this. There is a rule that is index rule. Darshaka nitiya. Thano thamai sulu karanne. Right? Now you can remove these two. According to the index rule, this minus part come to down, then plus. Right? Then x to the power half, x to the power half, that is x. Then x2 to the power minus half come to this side, then plus. There is 2 to the power plus half, then plus x to the power plus half, then 1. That is x2. This is MRS. Oh, XO, no, you don't got x1 to the xy. You don't write these things. You need right. Like MRS, right? At the equilibrium point, MR is equal to price ratio of the two commodity equal to px1 divided by px2. Now you have to remember careful. Now here MUX1, right? Now MUX1, then price of x1 is here, right? Then price of x2 is here. You can't write that now x2 is here. You can't write x2. No. Now here MUX divided by MUX2. Then price of x1 is here. Then price of x1, x2 like that. Right? So price of x1 is 5, x2 is 2. x2 is 2. Then x2 divided by x1 equal, then you can, x1 is 5. 5 divided by 2. Right? Now you can write x1 equal or something, x2 equal something. Now x2 equal, then cross multiply 5x1 divided by 2. Right? Can get this. Or you can write x1 equal. Right? Now according to the given details, then 5x1 plus 2x2 equal to 500. Now, according to the theory, xpx plus ypy equal to I. Can you remember? Here x1, that price of 5, right? 5x1 plus then x2, that is 2, right? 2, that price of here y, that is x2, that x2 equal to 500. That is the budget equation. According to the given details, price of the x1 is 5, price of the x2 is 2, like that. Income is 500. According to the given details, you can write the budget equation. Right? Now you can substitute this x2 to here. Then 5x1 plus 2, x2 means 5x1 divided by 2 equal to 500. Right? Then 5x1 plus 10x1 divided by 2, 500. Then 5x1 plus 5x1, 500. Then 10x1, 500. x1 equal 500 divided by 10. x1 equal 50. Then x2, right? You can, again, you can 5x1 plus 2x1, 2x2 equal to 100, equal to 500. So you can substitute 50 here, 500, then here 250 plus 2x2 equal to 500. Then 500 minus 250, here 250 divided by 2, that is x2. x2 equal 125. According to the indifference curve analysis, distinguish between cardinal utility and ordinal utility, which is more realistic. Explain why consumers explain why consumer indifference curve are convex to the origin, do not intersect. Derive the demand curve. Kalau mau lecture ini pasti ganda. Derive the demand curve. Right, demand curve through derive the demand curve through price consumption curve. Not yet studied, right? The total utility function, right? The total utility function of the certain consumer is given below. The price of the good X and 5 rupees, 2 rupees, income consumer 500. This is the utility function. Identify the consumer utility maximization combination of good X and Y, right? There are two chapters, chapter 7 and 8. Go to chapter 8. At the end of the chapter, there are some calculation, this type of calculation. So you can, then answer also there. You can go through the, however, I'll simplify this also. I have to write metric.
Excuse me, sir. Past paper එක තියෙන අර u function එක ඇවිල්ලා root xy තියෙන එක ඒක coefficient එකට half කියලා මේක හරවන්න ඕනේ නේද sir? That has to be converted to the coefficient value.
Yes. 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 Where is that question? Share, right? Yes, that u equal this, the square root of x and y.
Square root of x and y.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
We have to write this x to the power half, y to the power half.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I will write that u equal square root of xy. Price of x is 5 rupees. Price of y is 2 rupees. 500. Right. Identify the consumer maximum combination to a good side stop. Can't see the board, no? Right. Where is that? In 2016. At the BBA unit, that past papers, that there is a small book, past paper book. You can buy that, maybe 100 rupees or something. Printing cost, I don't think now is available. Then soft copy. So 2016. 16. Business economics, yes. 2017, right? Now U equal square root of x and y. Price of x is 5 rupees. Price of y is 2 rupees. Right, 500. Right. Now very easy. Now you can write this. Yes. U equal x to the power half, y to the power half. Right. Then mux, you can differentiate this subject to the x, then half, x to the power minus half, y to the power half. Then you can write whatever. Right. MUY, the problem, right, it is not moving. Right. Now half, x to the power half, y to the power minus half. Right. Then MUX divided by MUY. Right. Then MUX here, then here price of x, that is 5. 5 divided by 2. According to the index rule, that minus half come to this side, that is x divided by y, 5 divided by 2. Then you can write 5 equal 5x divided by 2. Then according to the budget equation, 5x plus 2y equal to 500. Right? Then 5x plus y means 5x divided by 2. Again 500. Then 5x plus 10x divided by 2, 500. That same figures you can get. 10x 500, then x equal 50. You can substitute x, then you can get the y, right? Right. Likewise, you can simplify the. You had better go to the past papers, and there are 5 or 6, 5, I think 5 papers. 2016, 17, 18, 9, 20, 21. 21 is the latest one. Yes.
So we don't have 2002.
I think it's not uploaded in the portal, sir. The soft copy is not uploaded, or scanned copy is not uploaded.
It is in the LMS. Uploaded.
Yes, it is uploaded,
Yes.
but the collection papers include from 2017 to 2019. 2020 and 2021 we don't have.
All right, I will upload it. right? Now to 2021,
2020.
20. Yes, okay. I'll now distinguish between total and marginal utility. What is the role of equimarginal utility? Principles, equimarginal utility principle in analysis consumer behavior, 4 marks. Then utility function of the individual given x to the power 3/4, y to the power 1/4. Find out the optimal quantities of two goods. If it is given that price of good X 6 rupees per unit, price of good Y is 3 rupees per unit, income of the individual, right? Now, almost same, that figures are different, right? U equal X to the power 3/4, Y to the power 1/4. The price of X is 6 rupees. Price of Y is 3 rupees. The income is 120. Right. Now, share. Okay. Yes, share. Okay. Green. Start. Right. Two thousand 21. Right. Utility function is given x to the power 3/4, y to the power 1/4. Price of x is 6 rupees. Price of y is 3 rupees. Income 120. Right. Now, this is the equilibrium condition MUX divided by MUY. Here MUX PX, then PX comes this side, not PY. Right. Now MUX differentiate this U function subject to the X. Then MUX. Here 1 into 3/4, that is 3/4. Then you have to deduct 1, that is minus 1/4. Right? Then y to the power 1/4. That part is not changed, right? That is MUX, right? Then MUY du divided by dy. Then you have to differentiate this U function subject to the Y. Subject to the Y. Then 1/4 into 1. Here 1/4. X to the power 3/4 as it is, you have to write. Then here deduct 1. Then minus 3/4. Y to the power minus 3/4. Now you have to deduct 1. Then here 1/4, that is plus. Deduct minus 1, that is minus 3/4. Minus 3/4. Then we got the formula MUX divided by MUY. Now MUX divided by MUY. Now here 3/4 divided by 1/4. 3/4 into, you can change these two, then you can remove these two. 3 is here, right? Now x to the power minus 1/4 come to this side, then x. Then y to the power minus 3/4 come to up, then plus, then y here, right? Then MUX, then price of x is 6. 6 divided by 3. right? Then 3, that is 2. Then 3y 2x, right? Problem. Right. Then y equal 2x divided by 3, right? Now I got the budget equation. Now budget equation, 6x 3y 6x 3y equal 120. Now use 6x plus y means 3 2x 3 into 120 equal 120. 6x plus 6x divided by 3, 120. 6 plus 2, that is 8. 8x into 120. Then 6 will 120 divided by 8. X equal 50. Right. Then you can substitute that 15 here. You can substitute 6x plus 3y. 6x plus 3y equal to 120. Then here 15 plus 3y 120. Right? You can simplify this. Then y equals something. Right? Then will be easy. Then had better go to the past papers and realize how we are going to test the knowledge. Right now, right. Finally, we discussed about the indifference curve analysis. We can discuss the consumer equilibrium, then budget line and the indifference curve touch each other. That is the point. That equilibrium also change, like that consumer equilibrium should due to two reasons it may be changed, right? The price of the commodity change, that equilibrium also change. Then the consumer income is changing, that equilibrium also changing. Then the income consumption curve shows the optimum consumer equilibrium point of combination of two commodities at different income levels when price of the two commodities remain constant. Right now, this is the income consumption curve. Then how to derive the income consumption ICC? Then the other things are constant. That is, especially price of the two commodity are constant. The consumer income is increasing. Right? Then you can join this equilibrium point. Then you can derive the ICC. Right? Then ICC, the slope, according to the slope of the ICC, you can identify the according to the shape of the ICC, you can identify the commodity normal or inferior, like that you can identify. Then ICC, then I will use the board, and through the ICC you can derive the angle curve, right? Now this is the angle curve. Shape of the angle curve, you can identify the commodity. I'll explain using the now this is PCC. When the due to price of the commodity change, the equilibrium also changing. Then you can join this point, that is price consumption curve. To the by using PCC, you can derive the demand curve. Right? I will use the right board and explain. Right. Now already we discussed consumer equilibrium under indifference curve analysis. At the equilibrium point, here quantity y, quantity x, 0. Indifference curve. Right. Now we discuss consumer equilibrium point. This equilibrium, that consumer equilibrium, can be changed due to two reasons. One is change in the income of the consumer, right? Other one is change in the price level of the commodity. These are the reason effect to the equilibrium level, right? Now assume that change in the income, the consumer income, right? Effect of the change in the consumer income. Here, quantity y, quantity x, 0. Before change the income, this is the budget line, right? Right. This is the budget line. We will put here AB, right? Right. Right here, this is the equilibrium point. Assume that it is the equilibrium point, that indifference curve 1. The budget line is AB. Consumer can buy x, here x1 from here, y1, right? Now assume that the consumer income is increasing. Then other things are constant. Other things means price of the two commodity are stable, not change. That is constant. Then the consumer income is increasing. Then budget line or price line shift to the right-hand side. Right-hand side. Normally it should be parallel, right? Now shift to the right-hand side. Now consumer can reach to the higher level of indifference curve and he can gain more utility, right? Now right. Right. This is the tangent point, right? This is the tangent point. Now he can reach to the higher level of indifference curve and he can make more utility than y2, x2. Now income changing, then you can identify that consumer equilibrium point that is also changing. You can join these points by the curve from 0 point, that is ICC. ICC, income consumption curve. What is income consumption curve, right? Now there is a PowerPoint. You can go to the PowerPoint and realize income consumption curve. Income consumption curve shows the optimum equilibrium points. That combination of two commodities at different income levels, when price of the two commodities remain constant, right? For this graph, price of X and the price of Y is constant, then the consumer income is increasing. The income consumption curve shows the optimum combination of two commodities at different income level when price of the two commodities remaining constant. That is the ICC, right? You can go to the PowerPoint presentation or chapter 8, then you can read more details, especially chapter 8. Then according to the shape of the income ICC, you can identify the commodity. Then ICC curve same like this, that is positive slope. Then the quantity Y and X are normal commodity. Then ICC, here quantity X, quantity Y. Then ICC backward to the vertical axis. Then good X is inferior. Good X is inferior. Right? Right. INFER, IOR, inferior. Then quantity Y, quantity X. Then ICC, something, the shape of the ICC curve is this. Then good, here Y is inferior. So ICC මේ විදිහට හැරෙනවා නම් මෙතනදී Y බාල භාණ්ඩයක්. Good Y is inferior. Right. Now you can here quantity Y, quantity X. Then good X and Y is normal. Then normally ICC, that is positive slope. ICC something like this, that turn to the vertical axis side, that is that X is inferior. Then ICC something like this, that Y is inferior. Right. Then ICC curve, here quantity X, quantity Y, is parallel to the vertical axis. Parallel to the vertical axis. Then good X is necessary. Good Y is luxury. Right. Now is parallel to the vertical axis. Here good X is necessary. Good Y is luxury. You had better go to the chapter 8. There are more details. Then here quantity Y, quantity X, ICC. Then good X is necessary. No, good Y is necessary, good X is luxury. Right. According to the ICC, shape of the ICC curve, you can realize the commodity. Inferior, normal, or luxury or necessary. Like that you can realize. Right. More details, you had better go to the PowerPoint. Especially that chapter 8. There are more details. Right. Now,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, could you please go back to the first you draw the graphs, ICC?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Sir, but here, sir, you draw the x-axis and y-axis the different way.
Yes. Here X and Y.
Yeah.
Yes. No problem. Now I consider that automatically I put that here Y. Then that is why I put the Y1, Y2. Here X. That is not the problem. You can change. This is not
Okay.
Y-axis, X-axis. You can put that here quantity A. Here quantity B. Right. This
Okay, sir. Okay.
the budget line is the here A1, B1 is the utility maximization combination of two commodities, that A1, B1. You can put AB, right?
Okay.
Not x-axis. This is not actually this is y-axis, x-axis. So you can put here Y, quantity Y, here quantity X, quantity, right? Normally I am also using that quantity. X is here, Y is here, but here I also write that QY, QX. That is not the problem. That is not wrong, right? Right. Good. You are very concerned, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Can you explain again the impact of indifference curve, so income consumption curve for that, the luxury?
Yes. Now, ICC, that is right. Quantity, so you put that Y, quantity X, now 0. Now, right. Beginning, that is increasing, both increasing when the income is increasing.
Okay.
Now it is parallel to the finally that is parallel to the vertical axis. Now here good X is needed, that is necessary. X bande atyavashyai. Y is luxury, right? Y is luxury. Go to the chapter 8. Very clearly, there are more details, right? Now, here quantity Y, quantity X, 0. Nice. Here quantity Y, quantity X, 0. Right. You can write. Now here ICC. Now according to this ICC curve, X is necessary, Y is luxury. According to this curve, Y is luxury, X is Y is needed, necessary, X is luxury. Right. Right. Now another concept, angle curve. Angle curve. There is a person called Christian Engel. By using ICC curve, he derived the angle curve. Angle means the part of his name, right? Angle. There is no meaning. The name, part of the name. That is Christian Engel, French economist. He derived the angle curve by using ICC. This is the way. Mm. Better to this is actually one graph, two parts. You can find out the textbooks also. It is drawing separately, but there is a relationship between these two, right? So now here quantity y, here quantity x, 0. Now before change the income, right. Now here indifference curve 1 for the AB budget line or price line. This is the quantity x1. Now Christian Engel try to explain the relationship between income and buying behavior, that when the income is increasing, what happens to the buying behavior. That now here same, that quantity x, here M, that is family income, family income. Now point x1, here family income, that is M1, another color, M1. M1, here x1, right? Then consumer income is increasing. We can buy more from both commodity. The budget line shift to the right hand side, and he can reach to the higher level of indifference curve. Something else. X2. The family income is increasing. He can buy more from X, that is M2. Point A, B. Then you can use these 2 points A and B and join like this. And that is called angle curve. CURVE, angle curve. Right? Right. Angle curve for the angle curve. The shape of the consumer angle curve for a particular good will depend on its nature of the goods, the nature of the consumer taste and preference, and the level of which commodity prices are held constant. The slope of the angle curve indicates the responsiveness of quantity demanded of a good or services to change in consumer income. The shape of the angle curve indicates the responsiveness of quantity demanded of a good or services to change in consumer income. පාරිභෝගිකයාගේ ආදායම වෙනස් වීම හා භාණ්ඩ මිලදී ගැනීම. The relationship between consumer income and purchasing commodity. He tried to explain that the consumer income is increasing. He can buy more from more commodity. Very simple thing. Now ICC is something like here, that ICC going to the equilibrium points, ICC. To the ICC curve, you can derive the angle curve. Here family income, the relationship between family income and quantity demanded. The family income is increasing, quantity demand also increasing. That is the same thing he tried to explain by using that angle curve. Angle curve. Right. Shape of the angle curve also you can identify the commodity. What type of commodity? Inferior. It is same as ICC. Right. That angle curve is positive slope. That commodity that commodity is normal. That angle curve is something like that. Good axis in here only income, right? No commodity. Then x is inferior. Likewise, right? Go to the chapter 8. Angle curve. Just realize, right? You don't worry about, but you have to realize what is ICC, how to derive the ICC, then shape of the ICC, how to identify the commodity. Likewise, you have to realize. Then you have better realize how to derive the angle curve, right? What the relationship between angle curve, that family income and the quantity demanded. Likewise, you have to realize, right? Now, for the time, now we have only 1 hour, right? Then, right, that equilibrium, that according to the indifference curve, that consumer equilibrium can change due to 2 reasons. Change in consumer income, other one is price, due to price change, the price of the commodity. Now, assume that here quantity X, here quantity Y, right? Before change the price of the commodity, this is the budget line, right? AB budget line. Indifference curve 1 and AB budget line. This is the equilibrium point. Equilibrium point, right? We can buy X1 unit from X, right? Point. We put that A. Now assume that other things are constant. What are the other things? Price of the other commodity. Price of the other commodity, that is constant. That commodity Y. We are considering commodity X. Then the consumer income also stable. That is constant. Price of the X is reduced. Now what happened? The budget line shift to the right hand side, or rotate, not shift, right? Budget line shift to the right hand side. Right. Now consumer can reach to the higher level of indifference curve and right. Indifference curve 1. Indifference curve 1. Right. Right. Now he can reach to the higher level of indifference curve, that is indifference curve 2. He can buy more from X. more from x2, right? That is point B. The equivalent point is B. Now you can join these points, these 2 points, something like this. This is called price consumption curve. Price consumption VE, consumption curve. PCC. Earlier we discussed income consumption curve. Here. Not there. Right. Now ICC. The පාරිභෝගිකයාගේ ආදායම වෙනස් වීම හා සමතුලිතයි. Change in consumer income and equilibrium points. You can join the equilibrium point, then you can derive the ICC. Then here, right, changing commodity price and equilibrium. Then you can derive the PCC, price consumption curve. The price consumption curve is the graph that connect point of consumer equilibrium as price changes. PCC. Right. Now you can discuss the very important concept here, that is demand theory. Demand curve, you can derive the demand curve through the indifference curve analysis by using PCC. Right. Now it is very important how to derive the demand curve through the indifference curve analysis, or how to derive the demand curve using PCC. Right. This is the way. Here quantity X, right? Here price of X, 0. Now before change the price, right? Before change the price, right? Now assume that price P1, right? Before change the price, this is the consumer equilibrium point. The consumer is consuming OX1. Now, OX1 and relationship between P1 and OX1, this is the point. We will put that A dash. Now, price change up to price reduce. Assume that price reduce up to P2, then consumer can buy more from X. Right. A dash. Now here B dash, here X2. You can join these 2 points, right? Join these 2 points. Yes. This is the demand curve of X. Demand curve of X. Right. Then how to derive the demand curve? By using PCC. Or how to derive the demand curve through the indifference curve analysis. Right. This is also very important through the indifference curve analysis. demand theory also equation. This is the demand curve. Today also we are analyzing the demand curve. This is where we have to derive the demand curve. Earlier, they realized the consumer behavior or the demand theory through these theories, right? Right. Now, last one. Now you can go to the PowerPoint. You can see the angle curve, and inferior good is whose consumption decline as income increases. The angle curve, shape of the angle curve, the turn to the back to the vertical axis. Good commodity X is inferior. The angle curve. This is angle curve. The graphical presentation shows how many units of goods, services are consumed different income level. This is a money income, that family income or money income. Here, commodity X, right? Then price consumption was demand curve. The price consumption curve is the graph that connect point of consumer equilibrium as price change, right? The demand curve can be derived from the price consumption curve by allowing the price of the goods to vary as income, price of other goods, and preference are held constant. So you can see the graph. What happened? Right. Right. ICC. Demand. Right. How to derive the demand curve by using PCC, right? Before change the price, this is the budget line, and this is the indifference curve 1, the consumer consuming this amount, then the P1 price and the quantity demand, that Q1. Then price of X is reduced up to P2, then he can buy more from X. Then budget line shift to the right hand side, this is the equilibrium point. He can buy more from X, that reduced price, that P2, and relationship between Q2, right? Likewise, you can take this point, then you can join these points, then you can derive the demand curve for commodity X, right? Right. Very important graph. Screen share. Right. This is the last PowerPoint. Now, according to time, I have to now I have 1 hour, right? Income effect and substitute effect, all in the price of the commodity, right? Now, according to the indifference, the utility theory, there are so many applications. Then here also, that using that indifference curve analysis, we can explain many economic concepts. We are considering very small things. Then how to separate that, measure the substitution effect and income effect. Then you had better go to the that chapter 8. What is substitution effect? What is income effect? And then the income and substitution effect for a normal goods. Through the indifference curve analysis, we can measure the effect of two effects, that subsidy effect and income effect, right? Then first you have to realize what is income effect. Assume that we are considering commodity X, that is the particular good, that is we are considering that commodity X. the price of X is reduced, right? Price of X is reduced, then others also can buy, right? That reason that commodity X, the demand of the commodity X is increased. That is the substitution effect. Substitution effect, right? Then income effect means we are considering that commodity X, the price of X is reduced. Earlier we buy two commodity, two from X. Then now we can buy 3 from X because the rate, because reduce the price. Then real income is increasing. Murtada, real income is increasing. That is the income effect, right? First, you have to realize what is subsidy effect, what is income effect. Through this theory, indifference curve analysis, you can measure that effect. How much the subsidy effect, how much that the income effect, like that you can measure, right? Now we are going to measure the income and subsidy effect for a normal goods, normal commodity, normal goods, right? This is the graph. Right. Here, quantity Y, quantity X, right? Assume that X is the normal, X is the normal commodity. X is normal, and price of X is reduced, right? These are the assumptions. Otherwise, we can't, right? Good X is normal, price of X is reduced, right? The price of X is reduced. You have to put use the vertical axis, not horizontal. The horizontal that your price of X is reduced, then you have to use that horizontal axis. Don't take vertical axis as a quantity X. No, always price, the change in quantity, the change in commodity should put into the vertical axis. Otherwise, you can't draw this diagram, right? Now, before change the price, this is the budget line. We will put that AB budget line, okay? According to the indifference curve. Right. Very difficult. Right. Normal, I will draw the diagram without using that. Right. I will try normal. Right. Here, quantity X, quantity Y. Before change the price, this is the budget line. We will put that A, B, right? And the indifference curve, you can't see the board, no?
So your sharing is not visible.
Yes. Somebody. Whatever. Okay. So, screen start. Right. There are three graphs. Now there are chat. Can't see the screen. Please share the screen. Yes. Now it's okay. Here, quantity X, quantity Y, income and subsidy effect for normal goods that we are considering. Good X is normal, and price of X is reducing. Yes, 0. Before change the price, here quantity Y. Right. Before change the price, this is the budget line. We will put that A, B. Now, indifference curve 1, this is the tangent point. Right. Tangent point. Right. We will put that P. Right. The consumer is consuming OX1. Now assume that price of X is reduced. X is a normal commodity. Price of X is reduced. The consumer can buy more from X. Right? Now price line shift to the right hand side, that is AB dash. Here A, B, that AB dash. Now he can reach higher level of indifference curve somewhere here. That is indifference curve 2. This right. Assume that this is the tangent point. That is, we will put that R. Right. X2. You put that X3. Huh? Right. Now again, I will explain the graph that AB before change the price, budget line is AB. And indifference curve 1, according to the equilibrium point P, the consumer is consuming OX1. Now, price of the X is reduced, then consumer can buy more from X. The budget line shift to the right hand side, that is rotate. Then consumer can reach to the higher level of indifference curve, that is indifference curve 2. that the equilibrium point is R, that he can consume X3 from X. Now there is a total effect. The equilibrium point shift to the point P to R, that is the total effect, right? Then total effect is equal to P to R. P to R. Total effect or price effect. Both are correct. Price effect is equal to P to R. P to R. Now, then commodity X consider as a normal goods. Then now price of the X is reduced. There are some people earlier that price is high, they can't reach, they can't buy commodity X. Now price is reduced, many people can buy that commodity. That is the substitute effect that is caused to shift to the equilibrium P to R. Some extent that substitute effect also goes to P to R. Then other thing is that if the price is reduced, as a consumer buy more from that commodity. It is also that is also caused to shift to the equilibrium point P to R. Then P to R is the total effect or price effect caused to the two reasons. That is, one is substitute effect, other one is income effect. According to this theory that in difference curve analysis, we can measure the two effect, that income effect and substitute effect. That income effect and substitution effect we can measure. Now, then there is a strategy. And then before that, you have to realize that according to the normal goods, that two effects are same. Substitute effect and income effect are same. So that P to R, that point, that distance should divide it into 2. Right. Right. This is the tangent point. That is Q. Then we have to draw a line parallel to the AB dash new budget line. Now this should be parallel. Now CD dotted line parallel to the AB dash new budget line. That is the strategy using separate that two effect according to this indifference curve analysis, or you can drag the AB dash budget line down, reach up to point Q, that is indifference curve 1. Can you realize that? Now you can separate the income effect and substitute effect through the indifference curve analysis. Then there is a strategy, there is a technique. Then you have to draw a line parallel to the AB dash new budget line. That should be touch the indifference curve 1, right? Then you can find out the point Q. Now the thing is this, that the consumer is purchasing that commodity according to the new price, but gaining first utility. Then where is the point? That is Q is the point. So අපි මේ විග්‍රහයටදී උපක්‍රමයක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා අලුත් මිල රේඛාවට සමාන්තරයක් නිර්මාණය කරන එක. Or you can drag AB budget line down here. You can drag the AB dash budget line here. To get the tangent point, that Q.
Excuse me, sir. This line we take drawing based on hypothetical assumption or any
No.
logical?
Not hypothetical assumptions. It is parallel to the AB dash line, AB dash new budget line. That is a strategy. That as a technique, according to this theory, there is a strategy. මේක මේ විග්‍රහයේ උපක්‍රමයක් තමයි ඒක. Not hypothetical measurement. Here we are considering that the consumer is taking that commodity X at new prices, but gaining earlier utility. පළමු උපයෝගතාව හැබැයි අලුත් මිලට. That is the point, that Q. That is the assume that AB dash new budget line you can drag to meet the indifference curve 1. You can drag. මෙහෙම පහළට ඇදගෙන යනවා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. That is the CD dotted line. Then CD dotted line parallel to the AB dash line. This is the strategy. Then you can find out the point Q. According to the PQR points, you can identify the income effect and substitution effect. So through the indifference curve, you can identify the substitution effect. Here income effect. Here total effect. Now better to go to the right. Now here you can see that dotted line is not parallel. Actually this should be parallel to the RT line. RT is the new budget line. Now according to this graph, now before change the price, this is the budget line. RS is the budget line. Then according to the indifference curve 1, that U1, this is the tangent point. Point A is the equilibrium point. The consumer can buy food that units, that is F1. Now assume that this is the normal commodity, normal goods, then price of normal good that would reduce, then he can buy more from food. Now budget line shift to the RT. This is the new budget line, RT. According to the new price, that reducing price, this is the new budget line, RT. Now the consumer can reach the higher level of indifference curve, that is U2, can make more utility, that can consume more from this part, that food, that is F2. Right? Now you can draw a parallel line. This is the new budget line. Parallel to the new budget line, you can draw the dotted line. As appearance, that is not parallel. Here something, but assume that this is parallel line to the new budget line. That is the strategy we have to use. මේකේ පොඩි වැරද්දක් තියෙනවා. දැන් මේ P ලක්ෂයට පහලින් යන්න ඕනේ. Right? Then that dotted line is not correct actually. Then you can find out the point C. Now through the indifference curve, there is a effect that is substitution effect. This is income effect, right? Now, okay. Right. Now here, to the indifference curve, that is P to R, that is substitution effect. X1 to X2, X1 to X2. Then R to PQ, that's P, yes, PQ, PQ. Here Q is, PQ. Then Q to R, that is income effect. Q to R, income effect, that is X2 to X3. Then total effect or price effect equal to P to R, X1 to X3. Right. This is the total effect. Right. The total effect is equal to substitution effect plus income effect. According to the normal goods, that normal commodity, that two effects are equal. Right. That is the thing you have to realize. Right here. Now to the indifference curve, this is substitution effect. C to B, that is income effect. According to the normal commodity, normal goods, that both effects are same.
Excuse me, sir. That point C shouldn't touch the budget line. Accordingly, that C is not in the equilibrium point, no, sir. That maximization. So it is all right. It should touch the budget line.
According to the before change the price, that the PRS is the budget line. This is the equilibrium point A.
Okay.
And after reducing price, then new budget line is RT. Then this is the equilibrium point A and B. We can identify as the two equilibrium point. That is the total effect. The A to B is the total effect.
Yeah.
That effect is consists with two effects. That is substitution effect and income effect.
Yeah.
To measure the effect, that two effect, there is a strategy we have to use. We have to draw a line parallel to the new budget line and touch the U1, that indifference curve 1. අපේ මේ විග්‍රහයත් කරන උපක්‍රමයක් තමයි අලුත් මිල රේඛාවට සමාන්තරයක් පරණ උපේක්ෂාවක් වේ ස්පර්ශන පරිදි නිර්මාණය කරන එක. Right?
එතකොට අර බජට් ලයින් එකේ ටච් වෙන්න ටැන්ජන්ට් පොයින්ට් එක වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ C එක.
C එක තමයි එතකොට අලුත් මිල ගණන් යටතේ පළමු උපයෝගිතාව ලැබමින් ඉන්නවා නම් ඒ කොහෙද? ඒ තමයි C.
Okay.
Right. That's the point. අලුත් මිල ගණන් යටතේ පළමු උපයෝගිතාව ලැබමින් පළමු උපේක්ෂාවක් වේ රැඳී ඉන්නවා නම් ඒ කොහෙද? ඒ තමයි C. According to A, B, C points, we can discuss the substitution effect and income effect. Right? This is not perfect. That graph is not perfect. That dotted line should below the point A and touch, not going beyond the indifference curve. It should become this side.
Yeah. That's what my confusion.
That is not parallel even. That difficult to right. Here also not correct. Something difficult to that. I will. Right. Actually, this is normal. The good is normal. That good X is normal. the price of X is reduced, then the income and subsidy effect almost same. That is the thing you have to realize. Right now, now income effect and subsidy effect is almost same. Right now, income and subsidy effect for an inferior goods. Right, Balabandya. Now here, this is the commodity. We are considered food is the inferior one. Normally, that horizontal axis we are using that price change in commodity. That is food is the inferior. Right. Okay. Then I will try my level best to. Right. Now. Right. Here, assume that commodity X is an inferior and price of X is reduced. Right. Then here you have to put the commodity X, quantity X. Here, quantity Y. Before change the price, this is the budget line. AB. AB, then this is the tangent point. We will put P, point P. It's called the indifference curve 1. Now, consumer can purchase or consume OX1. Now assume that price of X is inferior, the price of X is reduced. Whatever the commodity or inferior or given or normal, the story is same, that he can buy more from X, then budget line shift to the right hand side. Then this is the new budget line, that is AB dash. Now, right. This is the tangent point. Tangent point. We put that R. R. Here difference curve 2. That is X2. X2. Now P to R. P to R is the. This is the total effect. Total effect. P to R is the price effect. Total effect. Right. Now we can measure the substitution and income effect. Again, we have to draw a parallel line that new called the new budget line, that is new budget line AB dash. Then we have to draw a parallel line, right, related to the AB dash new budget line. Before that, you have to remember that the substitution effect, is more powerful. Right, this is the inferior good. Substitution effect is more powerful than income effect. So through the budget line, that is the substitution effect part. Then the tangent point should somewhere here. Definitely we have to delete that indifference curve 1 and adjust the now right? Right, I will draw the line. Yes, black. Right. Now this is the parallel line, that CD. We will put that CD. Black line is the parallel line to the new budget line, that is AB dash, right? Now there is a problem. You have to delete this curve, right? Now, right. Right. Here is the tangent point, right? Here x3. Now you can identify the point Q. Right. Here Q. Here PR. Now according to the PQR points, we can now use the same color. Indifference curve 1, this indifference curve 2. Now through the indifference curve, this is the substitution effect, right? Then you can identify P to Q, that is substitution effect, x1 to x3. This is income effect, that is Q to R. Q to R is the income effect, x2 to x3. Here is the price effect or total effect. Then P to R, total effect, that is x1 to x2. Normally, first you have to identify the substitution effect. Normally, that through the indifference curve analysis, that is substitution effect. This is income effect. That Q to R, that is income effect. According to the inferior, that here we are considering the inferior, that exists inferior, that substitution effect is more powerful than income effect, right? Then income effect is completely covered by the substitution effect, and part of the substitution effect is equal to income total effect. Then we can tell that substitution effect is more powerful than income effect, that is inferior commodity. Then මෙතනදී දැන් මිල වෙනස් වෙන්නේ ඉස්සලා AB මිල රේඛාව පළමු උපේක්ෂාවක් ස්පර්ශ කරන P ලක්ෂ්‍ය සමතුලිත කරන පාඩුවක x1 ප්‍රමාණයක් ගන්නවා. ඔන්න මිල අඩු වුණා x වල. එතකොට AB dash අයවැය රේඛාව. එතකොට මෙතන දෙවෙනි උපේක්ෂාවක් රේඛාව මෙන්න සමතුලිතයි x2 ප්‍රමාණයක් ගන්නවා. හරි. දැන් මේ විග්‍රහය යටතේ අපිට උපක්‍රමයක් හැටියට තමයි මේ අලුත් මිල රේඛාවට, මෙන්න මේ අලුත් මිල රේඛාවට සමාන්තරයක් පළමු උපේක්ෂා වක්‍රයේ ස්පර්ශ වන පරිදි යන්නේ. CD is the parallel line to the AB dash new budget line. Then you can find out the point Q. According to the PQR points, you can identify, you can separate that effect, two effects, income and substitution effect through the indifference curve. You can identify the substitution effect, then income effect, total effect. The substitution effect is more powerful than income effect. That is inferior goods. Total effect is equal to part of the substitution effect. Right. Now go to the
Sir, excuse me. අපි සාමාන්‍ය හිතන්නකොට total effect තමයි සම්පූර්ණම වෙන්න ඕනේ. කියන මුළු effect එක මේක බෙදන්න ඕන total effect එක sorry income effect එකයි substitutional effect එක. ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය හිතන්න ඕනේ නේද?
Yes, the total effect is equal to substitution effect plus income effect.
Yeah.
This is also same here also that is the argument that, but here now go to the, you can realize that here that is inferior goods. The substitution effect is more powerful. You are adding these two. This is minus that compensate this income effect from the substitution effect, right? Final effect also part of the substitution effect. Now here you can realize that substitution effect is more powerful. That is plus. This is minus. You can then income effect compensate that substitution effect. Then as a final effect is equal to part of the substitution effect. Now here A to C, that is substitution effect. This this is price effect or total effect. This is income effect. It is covered by substitution effect. The substitution effect is more powerful. එතකොට මේ බාල භාණ්ඩයක ආදේශන ප්‍රතිපාකේ වඩා බලවත්. කොච්චර බලවත්ද කියනවා නම් ආදායම් ප්‍රතිපාකේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ආදේශන ප්‍රතිපාකයෙන් ආවරණය වෙලා අවසාන ප්‍රතිපාකයේ වශයෙන් ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ ආදේශන ප්‍රතිපාකයේ කොටසක්. Right? The substitution effect is more powerful than income effect. That inferior goods. Now here you can see F1 to F2 is the substitution effect, right? Then C to B, this arrow key, that this is the income effect, right? Then total income effect covered by the substitution effect. Then the total effect or price effect also part of the substitution effect, right? That is inferior goods. That substitution effect is more powerful than income effect. Then final effect, that total effect also part of the substitution effect. මේක සම්පූර්ණ ආවරණය වුණාම කැලලක් ඉතුරු වෙනවා. ඒක අවසාන ප්‍රතිපාකය. මේකේ කොටසක්. That means that substitution effect is more powerful. Then income effect and substitution effect of given goods. There are small mistake that indifference curve never touch each other. Here something wrong. This is the new budget line, which is parallel to the dotted line. Right now, I will explain the. Now, given good. Sir Robert Ivan Giffen, he intended this concept using his name, that is Giffen, Sir Robert Ivan Giffen, that is Giffen good. Now normal commodity, this is the demand curve, that is left to right downwards, right? Normal demand curve, then here quantity X is normal, price of X, that is left to right downward. When the price is high, the demand is less, price is reduced, demand is high. That is the normal commodity. But given goods, the demand curve is positive. Here price, commodity, quantity X, right? Price of X. Then this is the relationship, right? High price, high demand also high. Now, like our factor. Now price is high, the demand also high. Okay. That is given. Right. Actually, we can't identify this. This is the given good. This is good at the market situation. It may be the some good, maybe when the prices goes up, then the demand also goes up. That is different concept. That positive slope demand curve, right? Then price is less, demand also reduce, right? Now assume that x is given, then price of x is reduced. Now graph now here quantity x that given, here quantity y, right? Budget line. Right. According to the indifference curve 1, this is the tangent point. We take this point, tangent point. The consumer is consuming x1, right? Now, before change the price, AB budget line and indifference curve 1. Now according to the point P, the consumer consume OX1. Now assume that X is inferior, the price of X is reduced, then he can buy more from X. Then budget line shift to the right hand side. Right. Now this is given, then according to the given concept, when the price is reduced, right? Now here price is reduced, quantity demand also reduce. Now he will buy less than earlier, somewhere here, right? Less than earlier. Right. Right. Indifference curve, indifference curve 2. Now this is the tangent point. Remember that indifference curve never touch each other. Then that curve you have to shape here, not touch each other. Now come to point R. Right. Here we can put x1. This is x2. Now this is the new budget line. Right. This AB dash is the new budget line. Now you have to draw a line parallel to the new budget line. Now right, the point should somewhere here, right? What happened? Missing. Right. Problem. Right. the graph is missing. That is the technology. Very sorry. We will try to find out. No. Right. Delete or missing. Right. I will now given good. Right. Then X is considered as a given good, then the price of X is reduced, right? Again, now you have to draw a graph. Right. Here, quantity S that is given. Here, quantity Y. Right. Before change the price, this is the budget line. Right. Before change the price, this is the budget line. We will put AB. Then indifference curve 1. This is the tangent point. We can write x2. Then the price of X is reduced. Then he can buy more from X. Then budget line shift to the right hand side. Right. Now right. Indifference curve 2. Now price is reduced according to the given concept. Quantity demand also reduce. Right. Now here X1. Now this is the point P. This is the point R. Right. This is the total effect. Right. Now you have to draw a parallel line to the AB dash. This is the parallel line. We will put that CD dotted line parallel to the AB dash budget line, right? AB dash budget line. Now you have to delete this. This is the tangent point. This is the tangent point. We will put that Q X3. Right. Through the indifference curve, then this is the substitution effect. This is actually income effect. Inferior that given good, the given concept, the income effect is more powerful than substitution effect. This is the total of price effect. Right? Total given භාණ්ඩයක ආදායම් ප්‍රතිපාකය වඩා බලවත්. Right? Right. Now this is not touch each other. Now here, right. Right. Now go to the PowerPoint. It is not touch each other. That is something wrong. That DG line should parallel to the new budget line. And that is also somewhat then dotted line was beyond the indifference curve. That is also wrong. But so what, however, then before change the prime, this is the new budget line. We will put that here to here is the new budget that earlier that initial budget line. Now indifference curve 1, this is the tangent point. Quantity demanded that F1. Then according to the given concept, the price of the food that X reduce, then he can buy more from X. This is the new budget line. And given concept is consuming less than earlier. Now this is the according to the indifference curve 2, that U2 point B now reduce than earlier that F1, now E. Now this is the tangent point. Then here that this arrow key indicates that income effect is more powerful. Now here income effect is more powerful. Right? This is the substrate effect through the indifference curve, that is substrate effect. Then total effect also part of the income effect. Right? Right here you can realize what is the effect. All right. Now somewhat difficult to explain graph according to these facilities. So you had better go to the chapter 8, and I will send the there is a textbook that Introduction to Positive Economics Lip C. These 3 graphs in 1 page. I will send today that 3 graph also. Then you can realize something. You don't worry about so many graphs. Try to realize these things according to your knowledge, and later we can discuss how the paper is. And definitely we have to but knowledge purpose, you better to refer that chapter 7 and 8 and go to that PowerPoint and handout. You can realize, right? Within 2 to 6 hours, difficult to cover all these things. Very rapidly I have to explain. To take 2 to 3 days, I can explain well. However, just you can realize, go through the chapter 7 and 8, then you can realize well. Now, any other questions or clarifications? Now, there is a one question always that you can observe that. Now, not one here, only one question. Then explain the illustrate the consumer equilibrium using indifference curve techniques. What is the budget line? What is the role of determination of consumer equilibrium? Explain the concept of marginal rate of substitution, MRS. This is related to production. Then do we have quiz next day? Another 2 we are considering then there are 3 actually. We are considering 2 because some today also there are some problem to the there are 45 students, but however answer even I think 60 more than 67 68 people. I'm considering all these things. Better to right. 2016 that this is a very simple paper. What is mean by utility? What is the diminishing marginal utility, like that, right? But better to refer that after 2017 paper. It is prepared by me. 2017, 2020, 2021 also prepared by me. Then you can go through these papers. Any doubt, any clarification, I can explain. Right.
We have only
Hello?
2017 to 2019 past papers.
Yes, 2017 to 2021. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. There are 5. That is very important.
Upload.
Yes. I will check the LMS and I'll according to my knowledge already uploaded. Then we will check. Anything?
So
Yes.
excuse me.
Yes.
So is there multiple choice questions in these topics?
It is depend on the examination mode. If it is online mode or offline, it depend on the examination mode. Could you please upload the workings? I will try my level best to give the recording. That handwriting also there. I will try, right? I don't know whether it is recorded. If it is recorded, I will give within 2 weeks, within 1 week, 2 weeks, I will upload that recording. Right. Any right. Could you please upload the working? Working also there, that if you can download the recording, I don't know whether it is recorded, then you can that working also there. Right. Anything you can ask?
So excuse me.
Yeah.
So spot test questions result will be added to the final examination.
Yes. Then individual, there are 2 individual assignments. That
Okay.
is 2020. Right. Then 40. Then 2 spot test, that is 5 plus 5, that is 10. That is equal to 50.
10.
Right.
Okay.
Then 100, that one assignment
Right.
40, other assignment 40, that is 80. Likewise, you can calculate that. Sir, there is any calculation which related income and subsidy effect to in the no exam paper. I am not think that income and subsidy effect. So knowledge purpose, you better to follow. Sometimes there may be a graph. Then you have to identify the there may be something wrong, that sometimes naming or likewise that inferior good. Then you have to realize that what is the wrong things, likewise small things. No, I am not going to. Better to refer the past papers. Almost same. We are considering that not we are going to change. Online mode, then maybe multiple choice or whatever. According to the examination mode, then the physical, these are the papers you can download from the LMS. Physical. Then online mode, I don't know. We have to change the papers. Definitely.
So is there a quiz next week?
Next week, I think Dr. Krishanti maybe the lecturer. Next title, then another, then theory of production and theory of cost conducted by Dr. Krishanti. Then next maybe the market structure. We have to check whether our professor that YM Vikramasinghe may come. Otherwise, we both we two have to cover the other topics. There are three lectures, 3 sessions, another 3 sessions. Definitely that next week, or I don't know the time date, Dr. Krishanti may come. Sometimes he may prepare the tag questions, that's for test. Right. Any other?
So one individual assignment we already received from Dr. Krishanti. The
Yeah,
other individual assignment that you are going
I
to
will
give us.
that related to the market structure. I will
Okay.
give that take home assignment, that is 20 or 40, 100, that is 40, 40 plus 40, that is 20 for stock spot questions. Right. Then we can finish the session. Before exam, we can discuss the past papers and model paper. Then we can realize how the exam is. Don't worry about the exam. Try to read that 2 chapters and handout and the past papers, and better to get some knowledge. Right. Thank you very much for you all. Right now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right. Welcome you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay.